Hello, everyone. I'm Ashley, your host of Life After an Ego Death, and today's special guest is Jessica Gamble Bennett. Hi.
Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I am so happy and so excited that you're here. I want to share something with the audience, you guys. They gave me a heads up on you, and I saw your photo, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she is just a ball of light. And yours is so beautiful. And you're in prayer, holding your hands in a prayer, and you're just a ball of light and so happy and beautiful. And I saw that light being reflected on me, and my guide said, she is divine. And my heart just, whew, oh my gosh, I just felt it just now. But they told me that we are two peas in a pod. And I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that word, that term in such a long time. And they also wanted me to give a description, a definition to the audience, which is interesting. But this is the definition that they made me look up. Mysticism is the pursuit of direct personal experience of the divine, ultimate reality, or spiritual oneness. And I guess that's kind of what they want us to kind of go off of, is what is our personal experience with the divine, and, going within and having that inner transformation and union, and I don't know, just all the ways that we found it and all the practices we used and everything. So, yeah, what do you think of all that?
I love it. It's beautiful. At one point I had in my profile, mystic is one of my descriptive words. So I think I'm going to go back to that. So I'm going to take that sign. Thank you so much to you and your team. I think for me, my most transformational experience of the divine has come through energy healing and the use of symbols to bring healing. And that was no more pronounced than when I was diagnosed with invasive squamous cell carcinoma. And when I was first diagnosed, it was stage 4. And 3 weeks before I was diagnosed, I suddenly lost my sister to a fatal heart attack. And my sister and I were two peas in a pod. So it's just so beautiful. I got chills when you said that.
Wow.
Yeah. So we would say
Oh
we were
my
two peas in a pod
gosh.
because I founded the whole self-healing system, which used to be evolution energetics. And I am very clairsentient. So I feel energy, not so clairvoyant. I've gotten more so as the time has gone on. But my sister was extremely clairvoyant. So what would happen is I would feel an energy healing symbol coming in for the system. And I would text my sister and say, I feel this symbol coming in, but I can't see it. What is it? And 3 weeks before she died, she said, it's a wrench and a rose. I had a very powerful symbol coming in. And I was like, okay, well, after your birthday, which was coming up, I'm like, let's see what this symbol does. And she's like, sounds good. And we
Oh my
never got a chance to
gosh.
we never got a
She's
chance to
coming
do that.
through. She's coming through right now in this session. I'm just feeling so emotional because
Yeah.
I never say that term, and I really rarely ever hear it. And for me to be able to channel that, she is here with us right now. Oh my
I love
gosh, it's
that.
so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And that is my intention too. I light up a candle, and oh my gosh, wow. I can't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Yeah. So after I got the diagnosis, my 2-year-old at the time started bringing me wrenches from his dad's toolbox. And I was like, why are you bringing me these? And he said, from Aunt Wawa. Her name was Laura. And then people were sending me roses, because my sister had died. Real roses, actual roses. And my screensaver on my laptop turned into a rose suddenly. And so I started using the symbol, but I couldn't see it, of course. And so I asked my son, I said, can you draw a symbol of a wrench and a rose? And he said, yes. And he was 7 at the time. And so, no, he was 8. And so he came back and he had the symbol of a wrench and a rose. And in the middle of the rose was the infinity symbol. I said, that's the infinity symbol. And he said, yes. He says it represents that love has no beginning and no end. He said, send this symbol to people who love you, mommy, they'll heal you.
Mm.
So that's what I did. I sent it to people
Oh.
and they healed me. And, they've shrunk the tumor because it took about 9 weeks to get into treatment. Yeah. And
Oh my
so,
gosh. I'm
yeah.
crying. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing, crazy, amazing.
Yeah.
I love energy healing.
Me
When I
too.
was when I was researching the mysticism definition, I also wrote the word esoteric, and I was like,
Mm.
what are and I looked up what are some practices, right? And there's like divination, and then like of course it gave me energy healing and Reiki and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, energy healing is a form of this, and I was like, maybe we'll touch on that, and then you're like, that's my thing. I'm like, oh wow, this is good.
That's amazing. I love that. Yeah, so I got about halfway through treatment and I had third degree burns and I knew I was going to end up with an ostomy bag. And if that's what it had to be, that would have been okay. I would have accepted it, but I sort of got down on the bathroom floor and prayed, um, and I felt just waves of energy coming to me. And I knew that I was supposed to walk away from treatment and just leave it to energy healing and work with a naturopathic doctor and just not go traditional anymore. And that's what I did. I walked away about halfway through treatment and I went holistic and went into remission, you know, not long after that, and been in remission for almost 3 years now.
Congratulations. It's a
Thank
really
you.
brave thing to do, when you're sitting with this decision of following the rest of the crowd and doing the traditional thing and making this decision to follow your intuition and heart and do something that is against the grain. It's the road less traveled. And you risked your life for it, right?
Yeah, it
And
did.
yeah, and it worked. And how incredible is that? And a lot of people on their spiritual journey, they feel like they are risking their entire life doing this, but yours was a whole nother level, right?
Literally. Yeah, literally risking my life. Yeah. Yeah, and I think I was meant to do that. And I think all the people that were sent the wrench in the rose and that were sending it to me energetically were meant to be involved in that experience. I feel a lot of people have told me that they felt an awakening from the experience through my journey and following my journey. And I don't know if that's some sort of cosmic plan that we had set up, my sister and I, before
Mm-hmm.
we came in, maybe. I don't know, but it was absolutely a mystical experience. It was when I made the decision to go all in with my faith
Mm-hmm.
and
You
in our
have to.
ability to heal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have to. You can't go half. You can't do a little. You have to have 100% of your body, soul, mind, and spirit, everything into it. And that's how it works. And some people were like, well, let me just dip my toes. Let me just put my foot in the door. I'm like, look, you're completely blind the whole time. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually you'll become the seer. But even when you're the seer, you still are walking blindly and you're guided. And you just have to trust and know that it is the path and it is unfolding. And the people that come into your life, it's orchestrated and arranged, and it is by design. And
Right.
the
That's
the
right.
more you surrender to that flow and just accept it and live it fully, it'll just be easier and fall into place. And what an inspirational story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And how has your life changed after that moment?
I think for me, it's very interesting because I've always sort of felt that I lived in two worlds, right? So I'm a mom and I'm a
Mm-hmm.
therapist by trade. So I have a very, what we would call 3D, third dimensional life, just the everyday routine. And then I
Mm-hmm.
had this sort of mystical life, right? And that was when the worlds came together and they never
Mm-hmm.
separated again. So now
Mm-hmm.
when I work with my clients, I am tuned into them energetically. I am always receiving signs and synchronicities from the universe. I am always in that state of flow. I don't, I've never gone back to living just, the 3D existence without also feeling very plugged in to the spiritual side of my life at the same time. I think I'm merging the two. I think I'm bringing the 5D into the 3D. And I think I do that with all the encounters in my life, especially with my children. My children are extremely open and gifted. They're, these little starseed children, and they can tell me about, lives in other star systems. And it's really cool because when I experienced things as a child, I was told not to talk about them, or that's nice, or that's strange, or, I just didn't have that ability to be as open. And I kind of had to shut myself down for a very long time. And I'm hoping that my children don't ever have to shut themselves down.
And it's because you had the capacity to even birth them too. Like your body was preparing you for that, and to have them have you as that safe space where they can express themselves authentically, and also help you in your journey too with all of their wisdom and knowledge that they're bringing to earth. And how incredible it is for you to just know how special they are and their impact on this planet, and how cool it is. So cool. Wow. And
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
Oh yeah, no, they're my teachers. They're my teachers.
Mm-hmm. I also wanted to mention to the audience is that I too feel like I was in two worlds, like how you said, and I did have that professional life and then mystical life, and when that merge happened, then you combine it, and your life does change, and that you're integrating into your sessions with all these people. That is such a hard thing to do. I'm doing energy healing sessions on people, and it is really really taxing on the body and the mind to get into their energy field and help them clear out any of that negative, dense energy that they have, and working with them and figuring out what they need to do in order to heal and be lighter. It is a super intense experience, and that just goes to show that you are such a powerful being to be doing this on I don't know how many people every single day. And I just am being told that I have to like clap for you and celebrate for you and like say thank you, because this is a really hard job, guys.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. I think one thing that helps, well, in a big way, is that with the whole self-healing system, what we do is we have the client connect to their higher self, and we support energetically. With the whole self-healing system, there are tools to clear your energy, to shield your energy, to help your clients connect with their higher selves. And it makes it so that it's not as taxing on the coach, on the practitioner, because you're simply supporting them to connect to their higher self, and they're doing the work. You're
Oh,
getting
good.
you're getting information from their higher self on how to guide them, but they're doing the work. And that's what I think I love about it, because when they
Mm-hmm.
get information, it's coming directly from their higher self. It's not coming from me. And I feel like people really, for lack of a better word, believe the information they're getting. They trust the information they're getting because they're getting it directly from their own higher self. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's empowering them to become their own healer. Does that make
Oh my
sense?
gosh, that's so incredible. Of course, I wrote a book on how to listen to the higher intelligence within yourself, and how, and I did a video on how to communicate with your higher self. And yes, like that's so incredible. I'm really glad you guys are doing this. And
I love
oh
that.
my gosh, this is
Yeah,
so
we do. We are
great.
two peas in a pod for sure.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This is really good to know. Where are you guys doing this at if people want to come to you guys?
Yeah, so they just come to my website, jessicagammelbennett.com, and we can put a link in the show notes, I'm sure,
Mm-hmm.
and just book a session. So I do individual coaching sessions. I do coaching sessions for couples, and then I also teach the curriculum of the whole self-healing system. So there's 4 levels. And at the foundational level, you learn how to connect to your higher self, how to clear your energy, ground your energy, protect your energy, work with someone else if you want to. And then in the physical healing course, you learn a bunch of energy healing symbols and tools for your physical healings. You learn a symbol to detox your organs and your lymphatic system and your blood. You learn a symbol to strengthen your immune system. You learn a symbol to strengthen the NAD and the cellular energy in your cells. It's all that. And then of course I teach a lot about what I've learned about nutrition throughout life. And that was, I had a history of chronic fatigue in my 20s. I was quite sick and I had to learn to heal myself with nutrition. And so I share a lot of that in that course. And then you move up to the emotional healing course, and that's very much about healing trauma, breaking cycles, healing codependency. There's symbols in there for that. And then the last course would be the spiritual healing course. And that's where I teach people how to access the Akashic records and do past life healing and heal relationships with people in their lives at the quantum level so that, it's rippling down into all the lives they shared with that person. And we go into the
Mm-hmm.
mystery schools back in Egypt. We travel to past lives in the class and we heal our past lives. Yeah, it's really cool. It's sequential, each
It's
course builds
true.
on the last. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're thresholds, and so you have to set your foundation and work your way up. And I accessed the Akashic records, and I got to communicate with my past lives and see what tasks I needed to complete here in this life, and learn from them because they give the best advice of what I need to do. And yeah,
Absolutely.
and the quantum timeline jumping, like I've done that too. Something that I really liked that you mentioned was nutrition, eating high
Yeah.
frequency food, having clean, non-toxic clothes, and everything that you're eating. It does matter, and I I want to touch a little bit on that, kind of what your diet is like, to see our similarities.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I went vegan vegetarian for a while in my early 30s, and my body was not getting what I needed because there's a lot of nutrigenomic elements. So my
Mm-hmm.
family, we have gene mutations where we need extra B vitamins and we need extra iron because we don't store it as ferritin, and we need extra zinc because we have some immunodeficiencies. And so we do eat meat. We do eat red meat. And I find that my neurodivergent children do better when we eat red meat. But we do try and space it out. We do chicken as well. And then we eat a lot of vegetables. And I'll do a rainbow smoothie where I put, red apple, oranges, yellow bananas, greens, blueberries, blackberries to get all the colors of the spectrum in there. And
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
I have a lot of fruit and vegetables. I have chicken and turkey and fish, and I don't have dairy or gluten. I try to have, if I'm having grains, it'll be oats and rice and beans and lentils. But yeah, I try to eat whole foods from the farmer, and try to have it no processed, no junk, and also make sure I have a good oil that I cook with that I trust, because your oil does really matter, what you use to cook with too, the
oh yes.
type of pan. It really is a lot. It's a lot, but you just got to go step by step, one thing at a time, and then eventually it'll become your lifestyle and it'll become the whole thing. And I had a smoothie right before we jumped on. So I think it's interesting that you make your rainbow smoothies, and that's what my body was craving. I was like, I need to have a little smoothie real quick before I talk to her. I wonder why.
I love
So,
that. I love that. Yeah, and I think it's hard too because, when you're raising children and you're trying to feed them organic and gluten free and dairy free and all their friends at school are eating junk snacks, and
hmm
it's such a difficult tug of war that you navigate as a parent when you're sort of parenting against the culture, you know?
hmm
And so what that looks like for us is like I will treat my kids to, we'll go out for ice cream, or like in Halloween, I'll let them have some candy because I don't want them to feel ostracized or excluded from their friends and
hmm
what their friends are doing, but it's everything in moderation, including
hmm
moderation, right? Like Halloween is definitely a candy binge fest, but I have them spread it out a couple pieces a day kind of thing. Um, and I think that's a hard thing, but I think it's easier than it was sort of a generation ago because there is more consciousness around food now, thank goodness, right? And
hmm
seeing the effect that sort of our toxic diets have had on us.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And I'm sure they're kind of getting used to it where they're not overeating, or if they have something bad their body might not like it, it takes longer to digest and they don't feel as good as usual. And Thanksgiving is a huge thing here, and
Mm-hmm.
I I mean, I'm used to all my family for all my life. We just overeat so much and then nap afterwards. And I didn't even have like a full plate. I'm like, oh, I don't feel the need to have more or anything. And if I do, I have small portions throughout the day. And if I have a heavy thing, then I have to walk and exercise a lot to feel back to my normal, which is I feel very light on my toes and on my feet. I feel really light all the time. And I don't really like feeling lethargic from the food weighing me down in its own energy.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that because here lately, for some reason, I've been guided to sort of fast in the morning. And I know they say like the breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but I might just have like a little mandarin orange in the morning and then not eat until later. And do you know that I've been feeling better? I think I was forcing myself to eat in the morning and it was sort of overwhelming my digestive system. I think my digestive system just wants to rest and then I wait until I feel hungry to eat. And of course, that's
Mhm.
what we would have done in nature. We wouldn't have had these
Mhm.
schedules around eating. We would have eaten when we were hungry to the extent that we
Mhm.
could. And I've just been feeling so much better. And it's like a couple pounds have come off too, which is fine. I mean, I'm just listening more to my body and that feels really good.
It does. It feels amazing. I have lost a little bit too, but I don't feel tired or anything. Or even though I'm lighter in weight, I feel healthier, and I just feel so much energy, and it really is vitality, and my body is showing that in so many ways when we heal on the spiritual journey, and also whenever we take care of ourselves and eat well too. It shows up physically, and we look 10 years younger than what we actually are. And I've gotten that 4 times in the past few weeks as people are guessing my age. I'm like, nope, I'm 10 years older. And they're like, what? Oh my gosh, how? And it really is just completely, like you said, listening to your body and nourishing yourself in every way that you need to.
Absolutely. It's so funny you say that. That's been happening to me too, because I'm getting ready to turn 48. And, I had children older. I had my first child at 37 and my second at 43. So people may be just guessing by how old my children are, but they think I'm in my late 30s. And it's interesting. I downloaded a symbol recently and I've been working with it. And it's I've been working with basically lengthening the telomeres in the DNA. And so, of course, research shows that in meditation you can do this. And so I've been working on sort of reversing the clock, chronologically in my cells. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if this is something we're tapping into, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I love
It's
that.
awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. Yeah. Well, it makes sense, as above, so below, right? So if we're tapping into the quantum field and we're working with energy that's healing us and that is turning back the clock, it would show in our physical bodies, wouldn't it? Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all energy work, really.
Mm-hmm. It is. That's right. Everything is energy. Yeah.
Wow. It has been such a treat to experience you. This has been such a joy. I loved bouncing off of
Oh,
each other. And it's like
yeah, me too.
it's already time. So,
I
do
know.
you do you have any final thoughts to give to the audience? Any advice? I know this probably might seem overwhelming for them, but also really exciting, good stuff. We shared a lot of wisdom, so I don't know if you have anything left in the tank to say.
I think so. My big philosophy is, especially as a therapist who works with families, is when we heal ourselves, we heal our children, and that is how we're going to heal our world. Our world is in absolute flux right now. A lot of people are afraid, and John Lennon said there are two motivating forces in the universe: fear and love.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout history, humans have been controlled by fear, by putting us
Mm-hmm.
into the energy and of fear, by hijacking our nervous systems. And what we need to
Mm-hmm.
do is we need to stay in the energy of love. And we need to realize that the fact that we're seeing all the darkness coming out right now, just means the light is growing stronger. It's like when you shine a flashlight onto a shadow, it disappears. And so that's what we need to do, and we need to sort of anchor the light. And what I mean by that is we need to visualize unity. I had another symbol come in recently. It was a blue flame, and when I gave it to my best friend, who stands in for my sister now, she's very clairvoyant. I said, and I didn't give her any information about it. I said, can you use this symbol and tell me what it's doing? And she said, over and over and over again, I saw the word unity as I used the blue flame symbol. And so use the blue flame symbol, picture it with your mind, a blue flame, breathe it into your heart space, and picture our world unifying in love and in light, and bringing in the world that we want for our children.
Mm-hmm. That was so beautiful. I'm gonna end it there because I can't say it better myself.